Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jack Knives, and welcome back to Crow Month. So now that we've looked at the sequel to The Crow, let's look at the third movie of The Crow. This one was limited release, but mostly known on DVD. This is The Crow Salvation.
The Crow Salvation.
In Salt Lake City, Alex Corvus is wrongfully convicted of the murder of his girlfriend, Lauren. Though he pleads his innocence, he's on death row for 3 years, and eventually given the electric chair, which overwhelms his body and the machine as it's also struck by lightning. The Crow spirit has resurrected Alex to try to solve the murder of who caused her killing, knowing that it was involving corrupt police officers and one with a scar on his arm. He requires the help of Lauren's sister Erin in order to help him solve this murder. Even though she thinks that he's guilty, it's up to Alex to find true salvation. Again, like the second movie, they did something very different. They wanted to make it not so much a revenge thriller as much as a whodunit, which it's a brilliant concept, and the idea is really, really good on paper. And the biggest downfall to the film is the budget, because it actually isn't a bad movie, surprisingly. It does feel like a Crow movie in a lot of ways. And I may get some flack for saying this, Alex Corvus is a really, really good Crow. I think he does probably the best Crow since Brandon Lee. Granted, he's not to Brandon Lee's level, but he brings something different, like the pain and yet confusion of what's going on, that it feels raw and it feels genuine. It also was really cool to see the transformation from when he was a human on death row to the Crow spirit. When he hums the crow, it totally felt like two different people, which it should. They're supposed to feel like the same person, but different. But that's kind of what he did, but it was so far different than the original version of him that I totally forgot it was the same actor, to be 100% honest with you. The whodunit aspect really just encapsulates everything really cool. There's no bombastic, crazy stuff. It's mostly just a straightforward whodunit, and revenge is a big part of the story, but it's not the key focal point. The key focal point is figuring out who did what and why. And as the story progresses, it feels like a natural progression to that story. And I like that they did something so different with such a limited budget. I would dare say this is probably the best one since the first movie. But take that as you will, and keep in mind the budget is very limited. Tell, unlike the last movie, that despite the love behind it, there was far more put into this production. I give The Crow Salvation 4 out of 5. Have you seen The Crow Salvation? Let me know in the comments down below. And keep on enjoying Crow Month.